Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the latest episode of our Smoky Mountain series pod on the mountain. The Maxon brothers here with you. I'm Nate. That's Aaron.
Hello, everybody.
And this month we are covering the month of June 1992 in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And apologize for this being a week late. Life happens. Scheduling issues with my shoot job, and that's the one that pays the bills. So anyway,
Yes,
but we will hopefully be getting back on track here with this episode of Pod on the Mountain, and then that back to some episodes of the We Can't Wrestle podcast proper starting next week. The funny thing is, because we were kind of before the little hiatus, we were kind of ahead of schedule a little bit. For us on the recording end, it seems like it's been forever, but as a matter of fact, we're only behind by like a week. So it's all good. So before we get into our Smoky Mountain for the week, I assume we're going to get in the Wayback Machine.
yes, we are. But we're going to have to get in it. We're going to have to get in it, fly like a week ahead, and then get back in the machine, and then go back a week, and then go back a week. It'll be fun. Because we're going to talk about the top two songs in June, then we're going to briefly talk about a show that happened in May. But anyway,
as we're in the Wayback Machine, with the way it's going to be moving around, please excuse my vomit all over the.
Yes.
Anyway,
but for June 1992, do you want to try to guess the movies or not?
I think because I think I don't know if we discussed it again or not before, or I was just thinking about it. I want to say that one of the top movies at this point, at this time in 92, has to be Batman Returns.
It is. It's the top movie.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was last time too. I'd have to go back and check my notes. But I'm pretty
sure we discussed it last time around, because I remember talking about the movie itself and the fact that Michelle Pfeiffer was hot. No? Maybe we've talked about it on a previous show.
Yeah, because in May it was Lethal Weapon 3 and Aliens.
Oh, okay. So, or maybe I recently talked to somebody else about Batman Returns. Yeah. I don't know. But
who knows? And do you want to try to guess the second one or not? I know you're never going to get it, which is funny, but...
No, I don't think I have a guess.
Okay, it's Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay.
That movie was what it was.
Yeah, I was going to say, those movies are just kind of there for me. I know there's people that like them, and if that's the type of thing they like, that's the type of thing they like. But, I mean, for me, those movies were one and dones. I probably watched them in 92 on HBO or something and never watched them again.
Yeah, and nothing...
3 of them.
Yeah, and nothing against Whoopi Goldberg. Is who she is, whatever. But she was somebody unless she was with Billy Crystal and Robin Williams, I'm like, I don't have any time for you.
I don't really. I'm not a fan either, honestly.
I'm not saying she's a bad lady or untalented or whatever. It's just
I just don't find her funny.
She has isn't my humor. Yeah,
I don't find her funny.
Yeah. In real life, she might be fucking hysterical. I mean, you have to be if you're hanging out with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal. You know what I mean? But stage persona, she's sitting do it for me. And if you want to try to guess the top two songs, go for it.
June 92.
It's all women.
It's all women?
Yes.
Oh, well, then I was wrong, because my first guess was going to be Baby Got Back.
Nope. And it's all women of color.
All right.
It's the number one song was "I'll Be There" by Mariah Carey.
Massive hit for Mariah Carey.
Yes. People don't realize, at a period of time, how fucking huge that woman was.
Oh, I know.
Physical stature. I'm talking
in
popularity.
In modern times, my kids' generation and stuff, they think of her as the Christmas song lady,
Yeah.
But yes, at one point in the early to mid '90s, Mariah Carey was fucking huge.
Yeah, like it's two totally different people, I guess you could say. But I'd almost compare it to and I'm a bigger fan of the person I'm going to bring up than I am Mariah Carey. But I'd almost equate it to like the popularity of Cyndi Lauper in the 80s, where it didn't last super long, but when it did, it was fucking fire. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think, in my opinion. And the number 2 song, which is funny because I told you that when I said if you want to guess the second movie, I said you're never gonna get it. It's My Lovin', You're Never Gonna Get It by En Vogue.
En Vogue.
Yes.
En Vogue had a little run there for a couple of years and
under talked about female group.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was going on. Bob Caudle was listening to My Lovin', You're Never Gonna Get It after he went and watched Sister Act. Which are two things that Bob Caudle did not do. I promise. He did not go watch a Whoopi Goldberg movie. But anyway.
No, no. But it is funny to think about him like, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. All straight laced and shit.
Yeah. Did you go see Sister Act, Bob? Yeah. How was it? It was weird, man.
It was weird, man.
Weird. It was weird, man. The black nun? What is happening?
I saw that. I did see that Baby Got Back video though. It's music videos how you like it.
Yes.
How I like it.
It's made me change my opinion on a few things. I'll tell you that.
Well, the episode from of Smoky Mountain Wrestling from May 30th, 1992 to start off our month. There isn't a lot to this one. Bob Caudle and Dutch Mantell open the show. They kind of recap everything from Volunteer Slam throughout the show. They recap the Battle Royal from last week's episode. But we're going to get the match that was kind of mentioned at the end of the show last week. It's Buddy Landel and Tim Horner. And if Horner can win, he gets the $5,000 that Landel won in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, and once again, it's Tim Horner and Bob Armstrong kind of being the fucking heels. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
Did Buddy Landel win like under win the Battle Royal under like, upstanding values and rules? No, but he still won.
He did.
Yeah. And they always say, in wrestling, the referee's decision is final.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, no. Like, Buddy Landel should get to keep his $5,000. If you want Tim Horner to get another $5,000, make it another $5,000 match.
Yeah. Buddy Landel should get to keep his original $5,000.
Yeah, just saying. Just saying. But that's the match that's going to happen tonight.
Yes, it's Buddy Landel versus Tim Horner with the $5,000 on the line. Tim Horner.
If it was, I'm sorry. If it was real life and they were like, Buddy Landel, you got to put that $5,000 back on the line. Buddy Landel would be like, I already spent that $5,000.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have $5,000 put up.
Also, I'm done here. I'm leaving.
Yeah. This is the most payoff anybody ever got in Tennessee. That ain't Lawler or Jarrett. I'm out.
Tim Horner must have looked funny sprinting to the ring to me or something, because my notes say Tim Horner runs to the ring. LOL. So when I was watching it must have been humorous to me, his running to the ring, little Tim Horner.
Probably because he's
well, his music's slowish. Like he's got slowish music.
Yeah. His music is Thunder Rolls, by if people don't know, and the song is about domestic violence. And he comes out and he's got his like I don't know if his outfit's orange or peach. And he's got like a stupid mullet and his styrofoam lightning bolt or foam lightning bolt that he awkwardly like goes back and forth with. It's fucking stupid. But anyway.
But they have a back and forth match here that Tim Horner wins with he wins the $5,000 with the bridge, his bridge,
his natural bridge.
His natural bridge. And
I don't know what an unnatural bridge is, but okay.
And he wins the match, wins the $5,000 from Buddy Landel, but Buddy Landel attacks him after the match, signaling to us that this rivalry is not over between these two.
Yes. Which I'm upset the rivalry's not over, but I'm glad that Buddy Landel got his revenge over this crooked fucking Tim Horner. He's a bigger heel than 80s Hogan.
I wanted to read this. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, Buddy busts him open, tears up the check, and shoves it down Tim Horner's throat, and that's how it goes off the air. So,
yes, and that's like I said, a quick edition on May 30th, just because there was so much recap of the previous month's events. Yes. I did want to read here from the June 25th. Oh shit, I just lost it. Smooth move, stupid. Bye, fuckhead. Okay. From Pro Wrestling Torch from June of 1992. Like I've said before, if there's anything that comes up that's not just results from Smoky Mountain that I think is interesting, we will put that into the show here from the back issues of the Pro Wrestling Torch newsletter. One of the things here, a couple notes from Wade Keller for the month of June. There is a good chance Ricky Morton will enter Smoky Mountain Wrestling to team with Robert Gibson to feud with the Heavenly Bodies. We know that is going to happen.
That is going to happen, yes.
Here's a story. Davey Rich broke his leg in 2 places, June 6th, and probably the worst place you want to break your leg, Harlan, Kentucky.
Oh.
He hit Stan Lane with a crossbody block and landed awkwardly, breaking his leg. Estimates are he will be out of action 12 to 16 weeks. Johnny Rich, whom he had been teaming with as the Party Patrol, is not booked with SMW for July. Rich had a horrible time getting medical treatment. The Harlan Hospital was next door to the high school where the injury took place. However, there was a wait of 2 hours to get medical attention. He was then driven immediately to Knoxville, a 2-hour drive, and his leg was put in a splint. He then drove home to Memphis and had surgery the next day. Bad day for Mr. Rich there, for old Davey Rich.
Wrestling's fake.
He was not in a Party Patrol that night.
Yeah. that wrestling's fake. You let me know some fucking basketball player that breaks his fucking leg and takes 4.5 hours to even get fucking looked at and then drives home.
I just thought it was like it took him 2 hours to get seen in Harlan, and then they're like, "Well, we need to take you to Knoxville."
Yeah, the only thing we got is a fucking hacksaw, buddy. So, you ever heard the song "You Ain't Gonna Leave Harlan Alive"? That's what this is, buddy. Fucking Boyd Crowder's over here ready. But fucking I think they even bring it up that he fucks his leg up on one of these shows.
That is that story. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And wrestling fans, that dude was in the fucking waiting room with a broken leg, and people were like, "You want to sign that? Can I get a picture?"
Fuck away from me.
Yeah. Like, did you see? I know we're supposed to be talking about Smoky Mountain, but did you see that guy that posted that picture like with Tiffany Stratton?
I did not.
Basically, he was like, finally got to meet Tiffany Stratton. I've lost a lot. Like, I don't know exact words, but he basically was like, lost a lot of bodily fluid thinking about her. Finally got to meet her. That was in his fucking post. Like, you're gross.
Jesus.
That's nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah. This lady's nice enough to take a picture with your fat fucking ass, and you put it on fucking Twitter, even whacking it to her. God damn it. But anyway.
1992. June 6th, 1992 is the next episode of Smoky Mountain we're discussing here. Of course, Bob Caudle and Dutch Mantell open up the show. They're interrupted by Barry Horowitz.
Well, they're not.
I guess not interrupted by Barry.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, he was out there. And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I might have had the wrong episode. So anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's all right.
The problem is like I'll watch these shows. Like I like Smoky Mountain so much that I watch it almost like the month and like one day before I know we're about to do it. And then we got delayed a little bit, so it throws me off. So sorry. But yeah, you're right. Barry Horowitz interrupts. He says he's not a loser. He's actually a winner.
He's a winner. I'm actually a winner.
And my favorite part is because he's like, he's like, I'm a winner. I'm actually not a loser. I'm a winner. And tonight, when I beat primetime Brian Lee, I'm going to become the Smoky Mountain champion. And Bob Caudle's like, no, that's not the case. It's not a title match. He's like, nope.
No, you're not.
You're not getting a title. Like Barry Horowitz is like character, like thinking about it. He's like, oh, I'm getting a Smoky Mountain title match. And it's like, no.
No, you're getting a match with the champion, but it's not a championship match.
It's a match.
And then Brian Lee proceeds to defeat Barry Horowitz.
Yes.
But like we've said before on the show, you have Brian Lee, a guy that's, marginal worker, but the fans like him. So to put him over, why not put him in the ring with somebody like a Barry Horowitz that can make him look like $1 million? So
if I remember right, I don't want to look back, but I'm pretty sure that's who he first did it. That's who he first worked with, the beginning of the run too.
Yes, it was. I think it was the first episode of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. One of the matches was Brian Lee and Barry Horowitz. So yes.
I know we kind of knocked Brian Lee and all that and everything, but like
at this time in this promotion, the motherfucker's over.
Yeah, and it's the best that anybody ever used him that I've seen. So, just a couple notes from the match. I did like that Mantell was talking about like he thought he said Barry Horowitz had a chance to win, and Bob Caudle was like, "How could you think that, Dutch?" And Dutch was like, "Well, he might be tired from that tournament." Like it's like, okay, that's a valid point. Like if you look at the scheme of things, like this guy just had like what you know what I mean. And then excuse me, and the funny line of the night, or at least of this, the Dutch Mantell line of the night is that Dutch Mantell has claimed that Brian Lee's home state of Florida has declared him legally stupid.
Legally stupid.
Legally stupid.
He's very good color commentator. Underrated.
Funny fucking dude, man.
After Brian Lee takes down Barry Horowitz, we get a flashback to the footage from Brian Lee versus the Dirty White Boy at Volunteer Slam. And then Bob Caudle interviews Brian Lee on the Dirty White Boy, and he talks about the Dirty White Boy and Paul Orndorff.
Yes.
And his involvement in feuding with both of those men, which is going to we're going to have some developments this month in that whole deal.
Yes.
And then Bob Caudle talks to us. I love how like this is the most uncreative name. He talks to us about how there's going to be a Meet the Stars autograph party.
Yeah.
Like they didn't try to come up with some elaborate
nope,
catchy name for it. It's just very, very. It's a Meet the Stars autograph party. That's what it is. What it is. It's as described, folks.
I try to make it out something that it ain't. Could you imagine being fucking one of the guys that had to go to that thing? Yeah. It's like when Jericho talked about when they got there as the Thrill Seekers or whatever, Jim Cornette got mad at him, and Jericho said most guys would get mad because like guys were out like chatting around or whatever. Cornette was like, you guys aren't servicing the fans enough. And Jericho's like, oh my god, like no, have you seen them? Like no,
No.
like I'm not banging a fatty with no teeth.
After that, did his Dirty White Boy, of course, with Ron Wright against Tommy Angel.
Yes. Who has one of the most offensive mullets of all time. Like his mullet offends me.
After Dirty White Boy defeats Tommy Angel, I love of course, we get a Ron Wright Dirty White Boy interview, which is always one of the highlights because Ron Wright is one of the highlights.
Yes, he was. Wright says the Dirty White Boy was robbed, and it had him so upset he had a light stroke, and he's thinking of suing Bob Armstrong.
He had a light stroke at the Volunteer Slam.
Light stroke. Wasn't a full blown one.
Enough to keep me in the
chair. It's enough to keep me in the chair. Thinking of suing Bob Armstrong.
And Brian Lee comes to the ring. He comes out. He's in the ring. He says pretty much, look, man, if you wanna fight, let's fight, Dirty White Boy. And Ron Wright, I don't know if my heart can take it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Wright's heart gets to be the excuse for why Dirty White Boy is chicken shitting out on not facing Brian Lee. These guys are fucking great.
Great. Yeah.
I don't know if my heart can take it.
My pawpaw can't handle it.
He's one of the two guys that I wish more footage existed of. Ron Wright and Johnny Valentine are like my two. I wish, and I understand why it doesn't, especially with Ron Wright, because he was in fucking Tennessee territory where they probably taped over everything or didn't even tape it.
Yeah.
And it just like, I wish there was more that I could see of him like in his prime as a wrestler with his chisel. And I want to see more promos of him as a wrestler and shit. And then Johnny Valentine. I wish there was more Johnny Valentine available. But those are the two. Like if I can ever find anything on YouTube or whatever, I just eat it up.
I don't know why this one's that for me, but I would like to see, and as far as I know, there's not a lot of footage of it, if anywhere. Harley Race and Larry Hennig as a tag team.
Mm.
Could you imagine showing up and you're like, oh, hey guys, how's it going? Oh, we're okay. Hey, who are we working with today? Oh, Hennig and Race. Like, okay guys, I'll see you later. Have a good day. I would just fucking leave. They had to be like that. They had to have that same mystique as like walking in and finding out you're fucking fighting the Road Warriors. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm good. But sorry.
No, that's okay. After that segment, the Batten twins talk about facing the Heavenly Bodies in Beckley, West Virginia. I feel like this Beckley, West Virginia show has been coming up forever. So the Batten
going back to Beckley.
It just feels like it's the same show over and over. Like they're promoting the same show over and over again. Then Joe Kazana and Scott Sandlin lose to the Batten twins. And during that match, I think it's during the match or right after the match, they have the phone message from Bobby Fulton.
Yeah, but before that, we have another Dutch Mantel line.
No, okay.
He's said now that Brian Lee was declared legally stupid in the state of Florida. But he also now says about the Batten twins that they look like mongoloids.
He's not wrong, actually.
I know. But that's a word that never gets used in it. Like I still hear people say the R word sometimes, and I'm like, shouldn't say that anymore, but nobody says mongoloids anymore. Like mongoloids was before the R word. You know what I mean? Like back then you'd be like, oh, you'd hear like an old person be like, ah, I can't stand these mongoloids. You'd be like, hey.
We don't say that
not
anymore.
Mongoloids. They're retarded.
Yeah, they're not mongoloids. They're retarded.
Yeah, they're retarded. Have some respect.
Retard.
He went with mongoloid. Anyway, go ahead.
Now, Bobby, we have a phone message from Bobby Fulton discussing Jackie's injury and how Jackie's going to be back in action soon, and they're going to be coming for the Heavenly Bodies in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So the Fantastics are going to be on their way back for vengeance against the Heavenly Bodies.
Yes.
I put down here, I like the fact that they have, and very quickly, it's been very quickly that they've done it, is they have taken the Heavenly Bodies, and Cornette and the Heavenly Bodies are targeted by like 4 or 5 tag teams already. Like they are just under the gun. Everybody's coming for them because they're the champs and they're assholes.
Yes.
So
yeah, they've already like I said, I think when Jim realized that he wasn't gonna get Brad, like he still went with Brian Lee, obviously, and he's still gonna have a champion or whatever. And he just decided, well, my tag team championship is basically gonna be my main event. You know what I
mean? Which you can.
And then sorry.
No, you can successfully have a promotion as a tag team promotion. The Crockett Promotions was a tag team promotion for years before.
Oh, yes, it was.
Before the TBS run and such.
Yeah. And then the Bodies and Cornette, they cut a promo, and Cornette does something really good that I don't even know if I don't even think I picked up on it at first when I did it, and then reading the notes, he like puts over the Fultons, but then also puts them down because he says that Jackie Fulton's too proud to accept food stamps. Like he's poor, but he's like too proud to accept it. You know what I mean? And he's like, he's gonna have to will work for, like, he's basically saying this kid needs to stay away because if he comes back, we're going to put him down again. But he's too proud to stay away. Like he's too done. He's too
prideful and too stupid to stay away. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And he actually talks about, he talks about the how he should stay away and stay out of wrestling, and so he starts comparing, like, I think his transition to comparing it to, like, he should just be like you people and get on food stamps, and and because he even says, I see the food stamp in your pocket, like he points out and I wrote that down, that he points at one of the people in the audience, I see the food stamp sticking out of your pocket. But yeah, he says he's gonna when Jackie Fulton gets back, he'll have a will work for food sign for him he can get food. And but like you said, he's putting them over and running them down all at the same time.
Yes.
Then we get a recap of Tim Horner and Buddy Landell's rivalry. There must not have been anything too that may pop me too much during this Landell promo.
Well, Budrow does say that he's going to get in Tim Horner's head, or he's going to get in Tim Horner's head so bad that he won't even be able to, like, satisfy his wife. Like, he's saying, like, I'm going to make you fucking worry about me so much, you're going to be fucking impotent. Wow, I like that. Not that thinking about Tim Horner plowing his wife. But yeah.
And the Thunder Rose.
And then the wife cries in the corner because she realizes she's with Tim Horner. Sorry.
That sets Horner off. He comes out. A fight ensues between himself and Buddy Landell. They go to break. When they come back, Tim Horner, he's all fired up. I'm fired up, man. Fired up. I want Buddy Landell at Mountain Mayhem, man.
He's gonna put up his $5,000 again.
Yeah, they're just trading
nobody's spending this money. Nobody's spending it.
They should give it to Ron Wright. He needs.
Yeah, he needs it.
Needs it for his medications and such.
Yeah. Ron Wright's probably like, I'll take it.
I'll take the money, man.
Like, just give me the goddamn money. But anyway,
the next match on this show, Jimmy Golden and Ben Jordan.
Hell yeah.
Every time Jimmy Golden comes out, I'm like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah. It's my dude right here. Does shit ever make you feel old? Like, I'm sure it does. You're older than me. But at work the other day, the Otis Redding version of why did the name just slip out of my head? Hard to Handle. You know, Black Crow's Hard to Handle. Like the original Otis Redding version played at Walmart. Okay. Which is like a jam for me. And because I'm an Otis Redding fan. That came on and there was like some 35-year-old guy. I'm like kind of singing along with it, doing my shit, and he's like, "What is this, like a remake?" I'm like, "Excuse me?" Like, Black Crows was a remake. Like, that's where I was like going to say something about like you know, like funny stuff that nobody talks about. There's just this shit that I didn't realize until a couple of years ago that people don't even know about.
Yeah.
Like, there was this girl at work, and she's 21. She's a nice girl. She's like one of our like department managers or whatever. And I made a joke about O.J. Simpson, like the O.J. Simpson trial. And she's like, "What's that?"
Yeah. She wouldn't have any idea. It happened before she was born.
Yeah, she had no idea what the O.J. Simpson trial was. Like, I explained it to her, and she was like, "That's fucking insane." I said, "I know, right? Imagine living through it." But anyway, sorry. But yeah, Jimmy Golden's the fucking man. Like, he's my fate. He's my. I don't even know if I want to call him a guilty pleasure, but he's like my favorite dude in the first run here of Smoky Mountain. Like, every time Jimmy Golden shows up, I'm like, the fucking man.
He defeats Ben Jordan. Yes. Bob Caudle interviews Bob Armstrong about the Volunteer Slam and all the shit that went down. He talks about Paul Orndorff. Armstrong, he's handing out fines, but he is not suspending Paul Orndorff at this point.
At the request of Brian Lee. At the request of Brian Lee. Brian Lee.
Yes.
Did not want him suspended.
He wants to get his hands on Orndorff. He can't get his hands on Orndorff to see if he's suspended.
Yes.
Paul Orndorff then meets Dixie Dynamite.
Which I still say is a gimmick we should bring back in 2026. I think it would be super over.
In the main event of this show, put down here, the match is pretty good. Orndorff rolls through Dixie Dynamite goes through a body press off the top rope. Paul Orndorff rolls through it and might pull the tights a little bit for the pin.
Yes.
And to end the show, Paul Orndorff cuts a promo about how there is a conspiracy against him in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And I wrote down here, everywhere this guy goes, he's a babyface, but the fans don't see it that way. Like with Hogan. Hogan's a total douchebag, won't answer his phone calls and shit. But somehow he's the fucking bad guy. And now here, the fucking commissioner and all these wrestlers are piling on him. I know he attacked Lee and stuff with the pile driver. I get it. He is the heel. He's very justified in his anger.
Yeah. Yeah. The only time people saw it his way was, what was it? When fucking Bob Roop fucked him over.
Yeah.
He got into his bag or whatever. Like, that was the only time. Yeah, Paul Orndorff, misunderstood Orndorff.
No wonder he's angry. God.
Yeah. He's Mr. Wonderful. You're Mr. Understood.
Mr. Wonderfully Misunderstood.
Yes.
June 6th, 1992. That's that episode of Smoky Mountain. I thought it was a decent episode of the show.
Yes.
So we roll into not June 13th because
I have the results.
Yes, okay. For some reason they can't find that.
Okay.
Did a Rey Mysterio. Okay. Yeah. Okay. At least I didn't do a Benoit. You have the results. You have the results. That episode, I could not find that fucking thing anywhere. Like, I tried.
It is nowhere to be found. It is nowhere to be found. I tried. And then I texted you and said, it doesn't exist.
All right.
Like,
well,
people even on YouTube, like in the comments, were like, when I got to like 620, they were like, I don't know, man. And the guy that like posts all the shit, what's his crispy lettuce or whatever? Is that who it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know. Are they there?
Can't find it, man.
So this thing, yeah. Cornette left it at a fucking Circle K or something. Just never to be found. But the results are Robert Gibson over what's his nut? The fat Ric Flair guy.
Paul Lee?
Yeah, Paul Lee. I wrote Lee and I'm like, when my brain went out, I was like, there's no way Gibson went over Brian Lee. Killer Kyle over Tommy Angel. The Riches over Kazana and that Sandel guy. That might even be the match where he broke his leg, possibly. The Heavenly Bodies over Jumpin' Joey Maggs and Ben Jordan. And then the Dirty White Boy over Brian Lee by disqualification. Which I think we're going to see clips of.
Yes,
we're going to see clips of that.
Yes, on this next episode, which is
that's June. What I'm saying. Like the episode existed, like they recorded it.
Yeah, but for some reason, it's not on the internet. And maybe it's one of the. I don't know. I don't know. June 20th, 1990.
Maybe in 45 years it'll be like that Tim McGee Bret Hart match, and like on whatever the WWF or WWE universe is on that in that time, it'll just be like, oh, the Forgotten Show.
June 20th, 1992 is the episode of Smoky Mountain we're watching next. I think they've begun a new round of tapings because this episode is in Spartansburg, South Carolina.
Yes. And this is where I got confused because like Barry Horowitz is just back there. And there's
he's just standing there. That's what I have. Bob Caudle and Dutch Mantell with Barry Horowitz lurking.
Yes.
Open the show. And the first match on the show is Rip Rogers against. He's not Nightmare. He's not a Nightmare. Don't call him Nightmare.
Don't call me Nightmare. This ain't Nightmare no more. I'm Nitro. And so you gotta remember about Nitro. It's like nitroglycerin, man. You shake it up, it's gonna explode in your face. I ain't Nightmare. Nitro.
Danny Davis. And
little
Danny Davis.
I'm from everywhere, USA. Fucking dude.
But he defeats Rip Rogers in the opener.
But we also, in the match, we find out why Barry Horowitz is out there. Carl Styles has been sent to a mental institution by Dutch Mantell. Like, he's basically said Carl Styles is just like Brian Lee, legally stupid. And now he has to be incarcerated into a mental institution. And during the match, I took too many notes on this just throwaway fucking match, but Dutch was on fire on this thing. He pointed out that Barry Horowitz is a loser, but I also like the fact that during the match he says, and you know, Rip Rogers, he's just as big of a loser as Barry Horowitz, but I can only do one charity case at a time. Like, I can't handle two of them. That's the only reason I ain't managing Rip Rogers. Like he said, I got to get rid of. Like, he shipped Carl Styles off because that shit. Like, he's like, that shit wasn't working out. So I got rid of him. Now I got this one. Yeah, this fucking waterhead. I got rid of him. Now I got this loser. And he's like, and I manage Rip Rogers, but I can only do one charity case at a time, Bob Caudle. Just one at a time. I don't know why that was so funny. I mean, go ahead.
But yeah, Danny Davis defeats Rip Rogers, the charity case. And After that match, Tim Horner threatened me with a good time.
Yes.
Because he says that if he can't beat Buddy Landel, he'll leave Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Now, I thought your goal was to get us to cheer for you, not the heel.
Yeah. Finally, he was like, "I'll give you $5,000 now."
Hit the bricks.
I don't even like.
Yeah, so Tim Horner makes that promise that if he can't beat Buddy Landel, I don't know if he specifies a show, if he specifies a certain show, but or if it's just like he's making like an in general statement.
I think it's that Summer Brawl, which that's not. I'll have to find the results for that too. Anyhow.
But after that, after he makes that announcement, Buddy Landel has a match against Joey Maggs in which Buddy Landel goes over. And then this was the interview where I took a note about Buddy Landel trying to really annoy Tim Horner. Because he says, like you said earlier, or the last episode, he's talking about how he wants to get under Tim Horner's nerves where he can't even, under his skin, where he can't even like function in his life, and he can't function in his marriage, and he can't function around town doing whatever. He says, I even bought a house in Morristown to get on Tim Horner's nerves. Like, I bought a house where you live, man. I don't even stay there all the time, but I bought a house where you live.
It's a fucking dump.
Just to get on your nerves.
It's so fucking.
But yes, very funny, great heel shit from Buddy Landel there.
Yes.
I have here Cornette and the Heavenly Bodies on a like they're. I noticed on this show they've switched to like localized promos that aren't town specific. They're just like coming to your town. So there's an interview with Jim Cornette in the Heavenly Bodies, kind of a generic interview on them coming to your town to a local show. I have a Dutch Mantel note on the next match. It is Paul Lee versus Dixie Dynamite. Dixie Dynamite with the impressive pyro of sparklers. And Dutch Mantel says, "Oh, where's the fire marshal when you need him?" with the most sarcastic tone.
Yeah.
He's like, where's the fire marshal when you need him?
Little pussy ass sparklers. It's such a horrible gimmick. So stupid. For everything great about Jim Cornette, every once in a while there's something where you're just like, man, dude, that's fucking trash. Like, I don't know if that was his idea or Scott's idea, but it's like, that's Dynamite is just butt. It's like a butt gimmick, man.
That's the thing about Cornette, though, is I love to listen to him talk about history. And his podcasts, you know, they're 3.5 hours long, and I can make it into an hour podcast because I don't want to hear him talk about new product, and all that. But I'm getting to a point. But there are people. I love Jim Cornette. Don't get me wrong, and I think that this promotion overall is 85% fantastic. But there are people out there, and I'm in the Cult of Cornette group on Facebook. There are people out there that think that he is like infallible, like and that's why I guess they call it a cult. But everything he says is perfect. Everything he says is the letter of the law. He can do no wrong. And that's bullshit because everybody can. Everything Jim Cornette did or has said or whatever is not, I don't 100% agree with it. And everything that he did wasn't the best. Like this right here, Dixie Dynamite is kind of stupid. But he's also trying to appeal.
I mean, I get it, but
to his audience.
But I don't even think the audience likes it. I don't know. I just think Dixie Dynamite's stupid, and Paulie is Timu Ric Flair.
Well, Dixie Dynamite beats Timu Ric Flair here, and then we get the recap of last week's match between Brian Lee and the Dirty White Boy that we did not get to see because the episode doesn't exist. Which very, very good stuff here. I actually enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Because it looks like the Dirty White Boy wins with the brass knucks. But Hector Guerrero comes out, tells on the Dirty White Boy to the referee.
Little fucking narc.
Little weasel, little tattletale.
Fucking narc. He's dressed like the fucking that fucking teacher, that teacher movie was with that Edward J. Olmos from the 80s.
Oh, it's not Lean on Me.
No, that's Morgan Freeman.
Lean on Me is Morgan Freeman.
That was the Mexican Lean on Me. He's like, I have to teach the kids. Yeah, like, I have to reach out to the children. I can't remember the name of that fucking movie.
I don't remember what it's called, but I know which one you're talking about.
But they made that movie so many times. The inner city black school kids. Yeah,
the Edward James Almost movie would always be like the afternoon movie on Fox 36 on Saturday.
Yeah, I must reach the children. Yeah. They had that one, and then they couldn't make a movie about bad white schools because that wouldn't be believable, I guess. So they were like, oh, we got to have a white lady, so she's got to go to the inner city school, and they're all bad, but by the time she's done, they're okay now, and they got straight A's, and she now knows how to hip hop dance. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
That's Dangerous Minds, right?
Yeah, that and any other fucking white lady saving black kids.
Best thing about Dangerous Minds was Coolio.
Yeah,
the Coolio song. But yeah, Brian Lee then gets the brass knucks here. Paul Orndorff comes out, attacks Brian Lee with a briefcase, and Hector Guerrero gets hung up by his stupid tie over the top rope. So he got what he deserved by coming out there in a tie.
Yeah, he's like, put upon Tommy, but he's getting his come up. Like, just stay out, man. They used to say your neck was all fucked up. The commentator or Bob was like, oh, he's hurt. What are they doing to him? It's like, well, maybe he should have stayed in the back. That's on him.
So that was all the chaos from last week's show. Brian Lee cuts another promo, on Orndorff and Dirty White Boy. Lost my train of thought there for a second. He's got something coming for them, though.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, Brian Lee said he cuts that promo, and now we're going to get some down and dirty with Dutch.
Yes. Yes, we do.
And it is Dutchman. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say Dutch Mantel, and of course, he's got Barry Horowitz lurking.
Yes. He always needs a man boy with him. That sounded weird.
A charity case, as he said earlier.
Yes, it's down and dirty with Dutch. He interviews Paul Orndorff. Paul Orndorff is still upset over the pile driver ban and Bob Armstrong's vendetta going against him. And then he brings up the point that Brian Lee shouldn't be champion because the match ended in disqualification, and you're not supposed to win a championship by disqualification. And then Brian Lee comes out to try to attack Paul Orndorff for speaking the truth. And then a bunch of wrestlers and Bob Armstrong himself are holding back Brian Lee. I'm proud of you, Paul Orndorff, for speaking the truth.
Speaking the truth, Paul Orndorff. He also says
yes.
He also says he doesn't like these rednecks because a redneck is a simple person. I don't like simple people.
Yes.
Speak
the truth, Dorf. You speak the truth, Dorf. Speak the truth.
Bob Caudle, after that, is with the four fatheads, the Battens and the Riches. I wrote down. Yes. I don't know why I don't know why I wrote down Caudle here with four fatheads.
It's the Mongoloids and the Lawler Boys.
I'm apparently cutting my own heel promo as I'm watching this. You bunch of fatheads, but they're going to step aside for the Fantastics to get their revenge on the Heavenly Bodies. That's awful nice of them. Mighty white of them to step aside.
Yeah. And then we get our first glimpse of the new ring announcer, and he looks like a pervert.
I put down ring announcer Peter Frampton says women have to stay away from the Heavenly Bodies.
Yeah, he looks like a pervert. Who's the guy that made like all like the baseball movies and like the Civil War movies, like the documentary?
Oh, shit. Burns, Ken Burns.
Yeah,
is that his name?
Like he looks like a pervert, Ken Burns. Like this is Steve Burns, his like brother that we don't talk about. He's a fucking pervert. But anyway, I don't like that guy. I don't like the looks of him. Like if I saw that guy at a park, I'd be like, "What? You don't belong here."
Peter Frampton Burns is the ring announcer. The match that we get here is the Heavenly Bodies against Tim Horner and Robert Gibson. And Robert Gibson's hoping that Wade Keller is right and that Ricky Morton is on his way to Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
And so are the Heavenly Bodies. It's the Heavenly Bodies, Tom Pritchard and Stan Lane with Jim Cornette versus Robert Gibson and Tim Horner. Fucking 4 of these guys are like, God damn it. And Jim Cornette's the one that had to book it. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Luckily,
he gave me $47,000. I don't know what else to do.
Luckily, Buddy Landell comes out and neutralizes Tim Horner.
Yeah.
The match is actually it's a good tag team match. I mean, we're joking about Tim Horner and shit, but this was actually a really good main event tag team match.
And I think I've said it before. I think Tim Horner as a character and like a personality and all that, he's a very boring guy. But when he's in there with people that can do what they're supposed to do, Tim Horner was a serviceable wrestler from bell to bell. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be any way like that, but
yeah, him and Brad weren't a bad tag team on Crockett for a little bit. They were a good tag team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
mean, Tim Horner's a serviceable wrestler.
We do comedy here though, so we got to have targets, folks.
He shouldn't be the fucking even presented as anywhere close to being like the second babyface in a promotion.
Right.
Anyway.
Here we go. Like I said, Buddy Landell comes out, drags Tim Horner out of the ring during the match and rams him into the post, which eventually leads to Tom Pritchard getting the pin on Tim Horner for the Heavenly Bodies to win this match. Like I said, I thought it was a really good main event tag team match.
Yep. And then heel commissioner Bob Armstrong comes out. Because Bob Caudle is trying to interview the Heavenly Bodies. They say they're upstanding, fine individuals. And then Bob Armstrong interrupts and says that he's going to fine Buddy Landell for attacking Tim Horner. But then in the same breath says that he's going to give the Fultons leeway against the Heavenly Bodies when they return. It's like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're going to get leeway.
Yeah. They're going to get leeway, but Buddy's going to get fined. That's some bullshit, man. Fucking heel Bob Armstrong. Surprised you don't have a bushy mustache and smoking cigarettes.
It's like, oh, you didn't know? Yes, but I call somebody.
That's how that show ended.
That was another good episode of the show. As we're building angles, building toward whatever the next big show is, because they mentioned like in these episodes, they mentioned like a few big shows that they're going to be doing coming up. So I don't know what the actual name of the next really big show is, because
the next really. Oh God.
No, I was just gonna say at one point somebody says, I forget what, something about a mountain type show, and then there's somebody mentions a Summer Blast, and Summer
Blast is the next big show.
Okay, because like I said, there was like Mountain Mayhem or something that somebody mentioned a couple episodes ago. So I was just confused as to unless originally they were going to call it Mountain Mayhem and they changed it to Summer Blast. I don't know, but
Summer Blast is the next big show, and I looked it up, and you can't watch it. So that got left in the same Greyhound station as the fucking other episode. But I got the results for it, so when we get there, we'll go over that. But yeah,
all right.
Summer Blast you cannot find.
And to round out our month here, I'm looking here. There aren't any more notes of substance in any of these torches that I'm looking at for this month. Just the match results. So we'll move on and round out the month with the episode of Smoky Mountain Wrestling from June 27th, 1992. I almost said 2026 because my notes say Smoky Mountain Wrestling, June 27th, 2026.
That show doesn't exist either.
And they intro the show by showing us part of a fight that we are going to see all of at some point during the show between the Heavenly Bodies and the Fantastics. Good Southern wrestling shit here, but we'll get to that as we move on. Of course, Bob Caudle and Dutch Mantell open the show. I don't have a note that Barry Horowitz is with Dutch, so I don't know if he was or not.
He was not.
Okay.
I would have wrote it down.
Usually if somebody's there with them, I write that name down because I want to remember that. The opening matchup for this episode is Dixie Dynamite against Joe Kazana.
It was what it was. I have absolutely no notes. It just says Joe Kazana versus Dixie Dynamite. Dixie Dynamite super kick didn't fall. That's it.
All right, good enough.
Dixie Dynamite is trash. Like, I hate saying it because I love the Armstrongs, but yeah, I'm just waiting for this fucking mask to get off that dude. I fucking hate. It's a fucking clown shoe gimmick.
Up next is something that I know is a big deal for the promotion, but I have a little bit of a query because it doesn't much make sense. Bob Caudle interviews Brian Lee mid-ring, right?
Yeah.
And of course Brian Lee has been having to deal with Paul Orndorff and the Dirty White Boy, and he's fed up and blah blah blah. So he wants them in a tag team match at Summer Blast. He's got a tag team partner. He's got a partner for Summer Blast. And would you not think, this is just my question, you can tell me no, would you not think, seeing all the TV that we have seen so far, that Brian Lee's partner at Summer Blast would be Hector Guerrero? I mean, yes. Wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't that be the logical partner for Brian Lee, considering all the TV we've seen so far?
I don't know if Hector's still going to be around. Well, he is because he's going to be interviewed. But maybe the only thing I could say is maybe Hector wasn't.
I think it's just because I think it's just because Cornette got his hands on Ron Garvin and wanted to use Ron Garvin instead of Hector. But I'm just talking about from a storyline perspective. Hector kind of got the shaft here.
The other thing I was going to ask, do you think maybe Hector was legitimately hurt?
Possibly, but he's in local promos on this show talking about the upcoming shows.
Yeah.
And how he's going to be in the arena. So I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't trying to turn it into a quagmire or anything. I was just like, you know what? It should have been Hector.
Yeah. But you did kind of spoil it. The big announcement was that it's Ronnie Garvin.
Ron Garvin's going to be the partner. Ron Garvin's going to be the partner.
And then he cuts a promo from his den. Do people still have dens? Or is that like a complete I
have my little room here in the house where I record, and I have all my collectibles and stuff in here.
But do you tell Kendall I'm going to retire to my den?
No, I call it my office, but I call it my office. That's what we call it, my office. But I guess it's kind of the same.
I don't think it is, but I'm just saying the term den I don't think exists anymore.
You might be right.
That's one of those things I was talking about where shit just goes away.
Den has been replaced by man cave, I think.
Yeah. But Ronnie Garvin's in his man cave.
You know what? I'm gonna start calling this room my den. I'm bringing it back.
There you go. Yeah. So Ronnie Garvin cuts a promo from his den, and he says he's coming back to the Smoky Mountain area, and he's a Smoky Mountain boy because he was there many years ago, and he's trying to be he's once again trying to be the redneck trucker type guy, even though he's a fucking obvious Canadian, which is fine.
And a French Canadian at that.
Yes. And then he's like, I'm a Smoky Mountain boy. And I'm just like George Foreman, 41 years old. I'm coming back. He was born in 1945. And it's funny because you should be more fired up about this than I am because you hate Ronnie Garvin. I like Ronnie Garvin. Okay. But Ronnie Garvin was like, I'm just like George Foreman. I'm coming back at 41. You were born in 1945, Ronnie Garvin. You were 47 years old. You're not 41. And you're not from Tennessee. Stop it. Sorry.
Can I tell you something? Because I know we're gonna get into it, and people have heard me talk shit about Ron Garvin on this show a lot. And I've admitted in the past that when I most of what I had seen of Ron Garvin before the YouTube era and all that shit was what the Jim Crockett trucker hat bullshit that I didn't like. He was boring in the WWF and in the late 80s. When I got to see the ICW stuff with him, the feud with him and Randy Savage, and the shit with him fucking stepping on breaking Ox Baker's false teeth, and like, I was like, you know what? That's some Ronnie Garvin stuff I like, and I actually like him in ICW. And I'll say this run in Smoky Mountain, you're actually not going to get as much hate from me as you would think you would, because I actually like the Ronnie Garvin, Paul Orndorff stuff. So I'm just saying, don't expect a lot of shade to be thrown like I would if we were talking about trucker hat fucking Ron Garvin in Jim Crockett Promotions, that I could just do without that. But anyway.
And see, that's my thing too. It's like, I know the trucker hat thing, and I'm the Southern guy and all that. I know it's silly, but like for me, it's like bell to bell. Like Garvin's kind of that. I don't know, like he's that kind of style that I like. You know.
I know, and I
know he's not like a technical guy, but like I like a snug, smaller wrestler that chop the shit out of you, and like that's where like I've always said, like when I talk, like if I'm trying to like talk about wrestling with us, because we usually have pretty similar like viewpoints on it, but like I always look at it as like you'd much rather, and I'm not knocking it, okay, but you'd much rather watch, like you'd sit down and watch a lucha libre event before you'd sit down and watch like World of Sport.
Absolutely.
And I'd sit down and watch World of Sport before I'd watch a lucha libre event. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just the way it is.
And there ain't nothing wrong with it.
Nope.
You like what you like, I like what I like, and sometimes we meet in the middle. But I have you have to admit, because I have been able to expand my viewing of him and stuff, I have softened on Ronnie Garvin over the years.
A little bit.
Because
but like even right here, I was like, come on, Ron.
Yeah, come on.
Just say you're 47 and you're coming back. Like that was his biggest thing. Was he was always, to me, it was just like that. He was always concerned about being projected as being old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And at some point, just accept it. Like he could have did that. She should have been like, I've been sitting here for, what, he won the belt from Flair in what, 88?
87.
87?
Yes.
Okay, and then he went to WWF in 88, left in what, 90?
Yes.
And he left in 90. This is 92. He could have just been like, you know what, I thought I reached the pinnacle of my career. You know, I was the NWA champion. I thought I was retired. I sat here for 2 years and I didn't want it. And then all of a sudden Brian Lee calls my phone. This kid calls my phone. You know what I mean? Like, just sell it like that. Just don't be like, I'm 41 years. We know you're not 41. We know it. Go ahead. Sorry.
But yes, Ron Garvin is going to be the partner of Brian Lee against the Dirty White Boy and Paul Orndorff. We get an interview after this announcement with Ron Wright, Paul Orndorff, and the Dirty White Boy. And Ron Wright is all worked up.
Yeah, I really like this because he's like Ron Wright was like kind of around when fucking
Ronnie Garvin
was around, and he's like, I'm super upset about this, and they're like, we got it, Ron. Don't
they're
worry.
telling
He's
him,
like,
don't worry.
No, you don't
worry,
understand. He's just like, you don't understand, man. He's part of the reason I
like Ronnie Garvin.
It, but he's like,
it's Ronnie Garvin, man. It's Ronnie Garvin.
Like he's like talking up to them, and they're like, settle down. Like he all but just said, like, he's part of the reason I'm in this chair, man. like I like that aspect because usually he's feigning freaking out, but in this instant, like Ron Wright was like, no, you don't understand. Like I'm about to have a stroke because this guy's fucking showing up.
Really, I'm really gonna have a stroke.
This is the big one, Elizabeth. Like I think I'm really dying here. Like I liked that.
I did too. I really enjoyed this, and like I said, the wrestlers are trying to calm the manager down instead of the manager trying to calm the wrestlers down. And like Aaron said, like Ron Wright's pretty much like you said, he's pretty much like, you guys don't know, you weren't here when he was here. This fucking guy.
I just really enjoyed.
So Ron Wright, as always, did his fucking job.
Yes,
the MVP of the show. And then we finally get the footage of the fight, the backstage out into the outside area fight between the Heavenly Bodies and the Fantastics. And what I have here is this is I'm not saying they didn't do this in Knoxville. I haven't seen a lot of Knoxville TV because a lot of it doesn't exist. But this was very much Memphis to me.
Oh, definitely. This is Cornette's concession stand brawl. He just didn't do it in front of the people. Mm-hmm. One thing I did like, and it's something that doesn't happen in wrestling anymore, is they explained why cameras were even there because they said it was a house show. Okay.
Yeah.
And this happened. It wasn't a regular television broadcast. But Bob Caudle mentioned that anytime a Smoky Mountain Championship is, he said 90% of the time. I love that too. Like he said 90% of the time, because then if he said every time a title's on the line, there's going to be cameras there. There's going to be somebody in an arena being like, they fucking lie. He literally said 90% of the time when a Smoky Mountain Championship is on the line, there's at least one camera in the arena to make sure we can document if there's a title change.
Mm-hmm.
So that was their way of explaining that there's a fucking camera here. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now that doesn't fucking happen. Now fucking some dude attacks some guy and it's like, well, there was just a camera there.
There happens to be a camera there every time.
Yeah. But like you said, it's a very Memphis-y angle, and I'm not saying that in an insulting way. And I like the fact that it was basically one camera just following him down the hallway, and for the most part, the guys are beating the shit out of each other. And then I like the fact that Cornette's weapons, really didn't affect very many guys, except a couple of tennis racket shots. But like he was like picking up like cardboard boxes and hitting them with them. I just this is a very well done piece of business.
I totally agree. Absolutely.
Yes.
They fight through the backstage area or the arena. They fight out into the back parking lot where the Heavenly Bodies wind up getting into a car and peeling out. And yes. Bobby Fulton breaks the back window of the car, which is always a great visual for pro wrestling whenever you can break some fucking glass.
I think it was like a Ford Escort or something that Cornette had.
Yeah. But yes, like I said, very effective.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it other than I really enjoyed it. Like shit like this is fun for me because, like I said, I like the Southern style. I like the Memphis style, and I like
There's
the
not a lot you can also say like in note wise, like and I'm not saying this in a bad way. It's just a brawl in a hallway. It's like you just go watch it, or check it out. You know, like I'm not gonna tell you every fucking instrument of destruction that each one of these guys used on each other.
exactly.
Four grown men beat the shit out of each other apart in a hallway. You know,
Yes.
and it wasn't gimmicked, and it didn't look crisp and clean, and like there was actual garbage in the garbage cans. You know, stuff like that. Right? Just go back and watch it. And then Bob Armstrong fined every single one of them, including Jim Cornette, $1,500, and signs a
Yes.
street fight.
I think it's
Signs a
funny
street
because
fight at Summer Blast.
what I thought was funny was that Bob Armstrong last week said, when it comes to the heavenly bodies, I'm going to give the Fantastics leeway. And then this week, his leeway went out the window. He was like, I'm going to fine all y'all $1,500.
Yeah. Cash grab, man. I got to get my $5,000 back from this fucking Horton Landell fiasco. Obama felt when he gave out the stimulus checks. He's like, nobody's spending it properly. Sorry. You know,
Up next, but I was to say up next after Bob Armstrong, Dutch Mantel is going to interview Jim Cornette and the Heavenly Bodies in the ring. In a nice touch, Bruce Pritchard has his forehead taped up,
and I think is Stan wearing the headgear yet? I can't remember.
Yes, I believe so. Okay. Yes.
This is when you were talking about Stan's hair. Mm-hmm. This is where it's becoming wig time. When he gets the headgear, that's when he crew cutted his hair, and Cornette was like, "What the fuck did you do?" Like, no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Actually, during this interview, if I remember correctly, I think he does have the headgear on.
All right.
Tom Pritchard says the Fantastics are, he says pretty much in the course of professional wrestling, you'll come across some awful people. The Fantastics are that criminal element that you'll come across from time.
Yeah, and that's right, because I did know, like, it was weird because, like, Tom Pritchard and Jim Cornette, they both cut promo, like, they're both talking. I just thought it was weird because Stan didn't say anything.
No.
And I'm like, man, Stan might be a better talker than, I don't know. That might be a good question. Who's a better talker? Dr. Tom or Stan?
The only reason I would give the slight win to Stan is because at least Stan, and I'm not shitting on Pritchard here, but when Stan Lane does his thing, he is Stan Lane. So it's genuine. It's his talent exuding. And we've mentioned it before. And again, not necessarily anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
But when Tom Pritchard's, he's channeling Roddy Piper. Not that it's bad, but I would just say that makes Stan a better promo just because it's Stan being Stan and not Stan being somebody else.
Yep.
I mean, if somebody's gonna copy Roddy, Tom Pritchard does it best. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Tom Pritchard does Roddy a lot better than his brother did Dusty as Rio Rogers.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Speaking of that, it's funny. Like, do you remember the Raw when Dustin impersonated his dad?
Yes.
He put on the fat suit.
Mm-hmm.
And before, they had the silhouette of Dusty Rhodes cutting the promo.
Yes.
It's so funny to me because Dustin's playing his dad on TV, but they did that silhouette promo, and that's Bruce Pritchard cutting the promo.
Doesn't make any sense. Why'd you do that?
But anywho, that's one of my. I know we're just about closing up, but it's one of my favorite wrestling stories too because, like, I like sometimes when somebody will get something over on somebody that's being too cocky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of my favorite Bruce Pritchard stories. I know sometimes Bruce Pritchard stories, hey, it's like, it might be like 60-40 truthful, but he would have no reason to lie about this one because he was friends with Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty Rhodes was like, he said Dusty would tell him, second most recognizable. Like that's what he would tell him.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce is like, maybe down south, but maybe not up here, Dust, And he said they were driving through somewhere in like New Jersey or New York, and they got pulled over, and the cop pulled him over, and he was like, oh, and Bruce was like, oh man, we're gonna get a ticket, and Dusty's like, I'm the second most recognizable wrestling star in the world, and the cop came to the window, looked in, he was like, oh shit, hey brother Love, hey man, your brother Love. He was like, never mind, man, you and your friend have a good time. And just walked away. And like Bruce Pritchard said, I got to look at Dusty Rhodes and be like, second most recognizable star in the world.
Rub it in, baby. Rub it in.
But anyway.
The next thing on this show, Bob Caudle interviews Tim Horner to talk about Buddy Landel. So
they're gonna be in a strap match at Summer Blast.
Strap match at Summer Blast, which but that's what makes me think they changed the name of this show coming up, because that's where like 3 episodes or whatever, our first episode of June, Horner was talking about facing Landel at Mountain Mayhem. That's what it was. So they must have decided that they were going to change the name of this big show. But anyway, it's going to be a strap match. He tells Landel, I'm going to peel you like an onion.
Yeah.
And that's that. We have a match between Paul Lee and Nitro, not Nightmare. He's not the Nightmare. Danny Davis.
Yeah. Like, it should have ended with the fucking... I got lost here for a second. Sorry. They should have ended it with the fucking... This show should have ended with the brawl, is what I'm trying to get at. Because, like, everything after it, you're just like, this kind of just feels like a wet fart now. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess it was weird. Now that you mention it, it was weird that they showed the brawl and they didn't save the Bodies interview for next week. You know what I mean? Like, are we to assume that the Bodies and Fantastics had the brawl and then the Bodies hauled ass and then they came back to the arena? Yeah, I don't know.
They mentioned that the fact that brawl was filmed somewhere else. They bring that up.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was the house show. That's right. Yes.
But I'm just saying, like, that should have been the closer of the show. Like,
I agree.
They should have just been like, oh, because everything else after it was just like, whatever. But now that I'm back on track of what we're doing, I do have a note about Danny Davis. Now that they're bringing Ronnie Garvin in, Danny Davis should be Ronnie Garvin's dink. Because he's like a littler Ronnie Garvin.
Ronnie Garvin's dink.
Yeah. Dinky Garvin.
Nobody wants to see Ronnie Garvin's dink.
It's only 41 years old. I bet if we cut it in half and cut the ring and count the rings, I ain't gonna say that, buddy.
Oh.
Anyway.
The main event on this show is Buddy Landel versus Brian Lee, which isn't really much of a match at all. Because the whole point is for Tim Horner just to screw Brian Lee.
Yeah.
Tim Horner comes out to ringside, holds Buddy's arm to prevent Buddy from using a chain on Brian Lee. Brian Lee gets a roll up on Buddy Landel to win. And then Buddy Landel cuts a promo, gives Horner some credit for screwing him over, but does say that he's a moron for wanting to face him in a strap match at Summer Blast.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel this show kind of...
It peaked in the middle.
First episode. Yeah, this is the first episode where after it ended, I was just like, Like, I think that it should have went off with the chaos of the brawl.
I agree with you. But overall, the month of June 1992, another good month for Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And next month, of course, we'll be covering July. But I enjoyed most of what I watched on this.
I did too.
There's just a couple of silly things that, like you said, Dixie Dynamite's stupid.
I'm ready for him to go away. And like you said, I just feel this show kind of it petered out.
Mm-hmm. They put the wrong thing in the middle.
Yeah.
I agree with you. They should have put the brawl at the end. And leave your cliffhanger with that for next week.
Yeah. And if they wanted to do the promo, just show like Stanley and Tom Pritchard and have them be like, look at what we look like. And you guys did this to us. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then show the brawl. But
mm-hmm.
That's the only thing it was just a misstep. And that movie was called Stand and Deliver. That was the one where
the Edward James Olmos.
Edward James almost wants to eat the keys. And Lou Diamond Phillips is in it.
I can't see Lou Diamond Phillips without going, Richie!
That fucking movie's ridiculous too. La Bamba is ridiculous. Like all that shit happens in that movie, and then he dies and all that shit, and then all of a sudden, like this big ego explodes, and there's Lou Diamond Phillips with fucking Lost Lonely Boys. It's like, what's happening? But anyway, we watched that movie so many fucking times in my life when we were kids.
Yep.
Fucking La Bamba.
La Bamba and the Buddy Holly story.
Yeah.
We've seen so many movies about that fucking plane crash.
Yeah. They never made a Big Bopper biopic.
Said a pretty face.
Like he's always just played by the fucking guy that played Ethor or whatever, or Ortho from fucking Beetlejuice. He's in every single movie of that. It was either like him or like some fucking like, you know what I'm talking about. There's always some random fat. I'm pretty sure Ortho played him in fucking Buddy Holly story, right?
I think so.
We're talking about. That's another thing I made. That's another thing I made, and we're not gonna delve into it tonight. But every once in a while, I'll be sitting here at home alone and just think of shit. So I've been writing them down. So there's random. I'm sorry, I'm drunk questions. That if we ever get plugged, if we ever get stumped on some time for a show, I can just ask one of those. But that's like the shit. Like I'll be sitting here, and be like, did Ortho play Big Bopper in the Buddy Holly story? Because I don't know Ortho's real name. But he also played the effeminate fat guy in Demolition Man that Wesley Snipes throws into the fire pit.
Yes.
It's just fucking hilarious. Like I don't know why, but it's just so fucking like his death is so random. and there's no build to it. That fucking movie's great because like when fucking Sylvester Stallone, when Demolition Man first shows up, he meets the guy you don't realize is the heel at first, and he's like, I want to honor you by taking you out to a fancy dinner at Taco Bell. Like every single restaurant is Taco Bell.
Oh.
All
right. We're gonna sign off.
You can cut all that out. But
for this week's
Demolition
edition,
Man's a great movie. Just saying.
This month's edition of Pod on the Mountain. And we'll see everybody next week with another episode of the We Can't Wrestle podcast. And like I said, hopefully now my work schedule is going to be kind of back to normal and not as excruciating. And we can get back to our weekly schedule here. So until then, we'll see everybody next week. Next time around here on Pod on the Mountain and next week on the We Can't Wrestle podcast. Have a great weekend.